What up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm happy to see you guys. I mean, it's been a while, but I just dropped the missus off. I got one gentleman dropped his pickup truck here. I'll deal with this later because Joseph is here, and by the end of this week we want to make sure that he can take it home, and he can do the rest there by himself. I just help him with the critical components and fabs, but that's it. And then maybe David can come and take his away too, so I can have more room here. And then we'll move this guy, right? Gonna move this guy over here, but we are going to the island, and then once I come back we are gonna work on the Dodge bits and pieces. Don't forget, because I still have to go keep back and forth from the island, so for now. But let's go listen to that guy. Let's go in the back. Today's video we mostly gonna touch on essentials that you need in your rig or you must consider, and I'm gonna show you a little bit here and there also what we are doing today, but that's gonna be very little, mostly we're gonna touch on essential basis. But anyway, let's go back, see what Joseph is doing. Oh yeah, he got earring protection, he got the glasses on, so it's good. It's good. So he's doing the right thing. We just want to make sure safety is first.
We got it all. Ear protection, everything. Today,
absolutely. Man. So check this out, right? Homemade bracket. Well, Joseph, you did a good job, my friend. Look at that, you guys, right?
Not bad. Not bad.
And now it's paint time. But before we paint, we're gonna scrub it up, wash it off pretty good with brake clean, make sure there is no oil. Then we have that solution to spray it on, make sure it's clean, and then we spray it and then can go back in. So here are the painted pieces that we're gonna use. And let's see, maybe this one is from here, not sure. I should have marked them. Yeah, that's from there. Look at that, beautiful, right? I could be wrong. I could be wrong, and this one might be from that side. And then we have the adapter plates, you guys. There we go, nicely painted. So this is just an epoxy paint for now. The reason I'm bringing them in, just so if it's gonna rain, because it looks like we're gonna have some rain, and then tomorrow we're gonna spray them black and we're gonna install them. And that's it for that. Let's see what Joseph is doing. What are you doing, brother, there?
I am
are you a statue now?
dancing with the ladder.
Okay, so this is what we did, you guys. And we did a little bit of welding. It's not bad. I mean, done by a couple of Rockies.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So this is what we do up here, because that's what happens when you try to fab something. So this is what we do. We're gonna adjust this angle here. Okay. And then we also gonna bend these guys. Yeah, that will go up. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, let me go on the other side. So there it is. The ladder is mounted. That's, you know, is it pretty? Maybe not, but it's practical. And look at all the angles. An angle here, I had to weld it up, cut it to bend it, you know, another bend in there. And then we had to bend the other plates to kind of go up there. But yeah, for, you know, once you spray this with paint, everything, you can tell that this was handmade, you know, I mean, hand tools, everything, right? And then, you know, the solar and all the ins and outs. And tomorrow we're gonna have the seats in, and we're gonna have the front shocks installed, and then he can drive it home. And yes, that's gonna be fun. Oh, you guys like my haircut? It's hot, so I said, you know what, let's get it down, let's get it out of there. But yeah, tomorrow maybe we're gonna spend another day tomorrow on this guy so he can drive it home. Just the front shocks, the seats installed, and everything is fastened down, good to go, no problems. And then you know, on the interior, the rest he's gonna do it pretty much himself. I kind of help and I show him the way it should go. And the only thing I might help in here when it comes to the bed, because it's gonna be a foldable style bed, just like in a Westphalia kind of style, that it becomes a bench and it becomes a bed. But yeah, you guys, you know, I haven't filmed much. I did lots of fabricating again today, and I said, man, it's no point, you know. I welded aluminum today, so that is not as easy as steel. And then I have another gentleman here that he dropped his pickup truck off, and his transmission cooling line leaking, so we are just going there now to see what we can do. Yeah, that's all in this one with this little build. You guys want to see more, come back in the next one. But let's get into the main video, the essentials, the few essentials that I have in the van, and you know, that I really point out what you guys should have, or if you guys have something, how you guys gonna go by. So let's get into the main video, my friends, and let's have some fun. Ladies and gentlemen, well, I'm working here on this guy. I thought we gonna have a little talk, heart to heart, right? So let's talk about some essentials that we all gonna need, or maybe just me, but things that, you know, I carry in my van and I thought it's really important. And let's do a little talk about that. Yeah, the batteries are doing good, not bad. So as I was saying, you know, essentials that, you know, I carry personally in my own van, you know, and some of them are critical and important, and I'm sure you guys gonna see it that way. And let's get into it. The water. Okay, water is, in my opinion, it's the most critical element that you have to have in your van life, or if you are go camping, or even if you are just traveling, right? So what I have, okay, I have 120 liters water tank that it's sitting right underneath here behind my bed, okay? And then I also have a Kuma water heater that it's underneath the fridge, and when I drive the Ambo, the coolant heats up the water and holds about 14 to 16 liter of hot water. Now, like I said, when you live in a van, you want to preserve as much water as possible, you know. So don't get me wrong, I'm not washing dishes 24/7, you know, because I have the water, because you're gonna run out of water really, really fast. But another essential that I use, it's these little wet wipes, okay? So they are unscented, has really nothing on it, baby wipes. So if those are good to wipe baby's butt, it's also good for me to do a wipe down if I'm in the backcountry and I don't want to take a shower, because it won't hurt me. So that's the second one, you know. So it's good to have a backup. Also, I use those wipes, you know, whenever I cook and all that kind of stuff. I wipe everything really nicely out and put it in my garbage. And then I have a soapy cloth that I'm gonna kind of wash the dishes, and then I just do a quick rinse, you know. So I don't use more than, I don't know, maybe half a liter, 1 liter of water very quickly, because it's very important when you go in the backcountry and you want to spend a week or 10 days or 2 weeks or who knows how long, you know, it all depends, you know. Some of you maybe just want to go out there in a vacation and spend a 2-week vacation in there. So it's very critical of that. Now, we come to the second point. I gonna put a link in the description. I have that water purifier. So the reason I got that one, even though my water, I put it in the tank, I don't want to drink from there just like that, and I don't have a filtration on it. So what I do, I hook up that water purifier. It has dual filter thing, and there is many different things out there in the market that you can use, you know. That's one of them, you know. But it's important, if, you know, I have that water sitting there for a week or 2 weeks, I really don't want to, you know, drink it like that. And if I boil it, yes, I have the option to boil it, but then I have to let it sit for how long until it cools off that I can drink it, right? But this way I can just grab a glass or whatever I need it, or even for my coffee, and it's good to go. Now that said, you know, you can just carry drinking water too, but it all depends how much room you have, because, you know, like when you make a trip like this, you have to consider that, you know, every day, probably if you are doing hiking or some activities on the beach, or you know, even just, you know, being out and enjoying sun, riding a bike or anything like that, you know, I think we should drink at least 2.5 to 3 liters of water, right? So you have to keep that in consideration, right? If you stay 10 days out there, that's 30 liters of water, right? Now, beside that, you need to wash a little here and there, or maybe even just, you know, a quick bath or anything like that, right? Also, you can just go grab some water from a creek, and you can still use the purifier. You can just dump the pickup in there and you are good to go. So that said, I think, you know, this is good. You guys can go check out, you know. I'm not suggesting you to purchase this particular water purifier that I have. I have a few, and I'm gonna show you guys later on too. I have kind of like a straw style that, you know, when I'm in the backcountry, I don't want to, you know, when I do a big hike, I don't want to carry 5-6 liters of water with me, because that's pretty heavy beside the gear that I take with me. So, you know, and you're not sure about the creek or anything like that, and I don't suggest you just to drink water like that. I carry those stuff, and I tell you guys, it really helps, because, you know, this way you can do deep country adventures and you don't have to worry about the water, and also for cooking and all that kind of stuff. That said, that's done. Okay, let's get to the second one. Okay, and that's a really important one too. The second one, it's power, you know. So whenever you go in the backcountry, you want to make sure that you have enough power to power your gadgets, your camera, your phone, you know, who knows what, you know, maybe you have a laptop, that you watching movies late at night, you know, that you had downloaded movies. So power, it's also very important, you know. So you have to figure out, okay, how much you are using per day and what you need for power. If you have a battery bank, that's fine. You have to make sure that you have the ability to also charge that battery bank without running your engine, because if you're running your engine idling to charge up your battery, you're putting a lot of strain on that engine. And the diesel ones particularly, they really don't like to idle. They gonna suit up and you do more damage than good. And then who wants to idle a diesel engine 4 or 5 hours to charge up the batteries, right? Now you have an option to carry a small you know, generator like a Honda, like I have 1,000, just for a backup if you don't have sun. But the next thing that I'm coming to, it's good to have solar panels. And I do have up on the roof, I have 660 watts, but I also carry a couple of portable ones, because if I'm in the bush, I definitely don't want to park in the sun. And if I don't park in the sun, well, then I have no solar, no power coming in. So for that reason, I carry the portable ones. And I will show you guys in a later video, or maybe even I'm gonna pop in here a couple of little clips, because what I do, I have an extension cord that I modified it, and I can just take my solar panels out in the sun, plug it in, and I'm good to go. I can charge up all my house bank, you know. And if you guys been following me for a while, you guys know that I run out of power even though I have 600 amp battery power. You still run out, and I'll explain you guys why. So therefore I also carry with me a solar generator, just in case, you know, if I need a quick power, or in the winter time running the diesel heater. In the summertime, let's say I want to run my satellite dish, you know, Starlink, then I can just plug it into that one, or I can just take it to the campground, you know. So that's the thing, you know. So you have to be aware how much power you use, you know. And now that we are talking about usage, you know, I don't suggest you guys do what I do, because what works for me, it might not work for you. But I carry, as you guys see, an air fryer. I carry an electric cooktop, and that's what I'm cooking in here. But it's always good to have a backup. In my backup, I also have a camp stove, a 2-burner, that if I'm in the bush, then I'm not gonna cook inside here. Why would I do that? Why not just enjoy outside the sunshine, right? So that's when I use my cooktop stove, the propane one. And I also carry a barbecue with me for the same reason. Here is the secret compartment for my cook stove, like camp stove, right? Like I said, you guys, this is a backup for outside, and I'll show you. Let me show you the brand and why I like this stove. Okay, so here we are. This is for a small tank, or you can also buy an adapter and use it on the big tank, but I prefer the small little tanks. And this is a Primus. I bought this on Amazon a couple of years ago. Let me just show you here. Oh, it's dirty, I need to clean it up, but it's really rugged, well built, stainless steel, and it's doing the job. So this is the backup, and this is for cooking outside when I am in the backcountry and I don't want to cook inside. So that's why. And this one has his own spot in there, you know. So I'm out in the bush, might as well stay outside, don't make heat in here, and just use the cooktop. But if I'm in the city and I need to make myself a coffee, or just warm up some food, or do some quick snacks, then I use all my electrical. And let me tell you something, you guys, you know, I don't suggest you guys do what I do. because these are power hungry units and you need a lot of juice for that. And as you guys know, even when you have a lot of juice, you're still running out of juice, and that's why I have a backup to a backup to a backup. So I have the solar, the portable solar, I have a gas generator, and I also have a solar generator that I carry with me, because I really don't want to be out there and I go like, oh my god, I don't have juice, I don't have power, now I cannot use the internet or stuff like that, right? So there you guys have it. This was number 2, you know, that we was talking about. Okay, so another important and you know, it is to me, I don't know if it is to you, but you know, a refrigeration unit, you know. So it all depends how long you planning to stay in the backcountry and what kind of food you want to carry with you. If you want to just carry dry foods, that's fine, and canned foods, then it's fine. You don't need a refrigeration. You can just have a cooler, and you know, you can keep your veggies in there. Hopefully they survive 5 to 6, 7 days. But if you go like I do sometimes 3 to 4 weeks and I don't want to come into city, that's when it comes in to have, like, you know, a nice fridge freezer, or just a freezer, you know, like IceCo, and then I can pack in all my meats in there, I can freeze them all up, and then I have just the regular fridge that I can keep my vegetables, my eggs, my milk, my cream, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So do you really have to have a fridge? It all depends. It's just a matter of you know, how to say it, it's a choice. It's a commodity, you know. So if you don't have it, yeah, you can do without it, but you just have to plan, you know, what kind of foods you actually gonna carry with you, so you can stay out there and enjoy, you know. Because even if you buy a block of ice, you stay 10 days out there, that thing is gonna be, you know, water, you know, no matter what. And then, you know, you actually don't want to ruin food and just throw them out because you wasted them, right? So do you need a fridge freezer? It all depends. It depends of every person's choice and what they are planning to do. But it's an awesome commodity to have. And I really do love my IceCo, you know. Heads down to them. I really appreciate that. It's really good. I use both sides as a freezer because I'm a meat eater. I'm a carnivore and I eat a lot of meats, you know, pepperonis, sausages, steaks, you know, lumpia, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So for that reason, I need a freezer. And this little guy has a tiny little, you know, freezer, so I can't even put in there anything, basically, you know, maybe a pack of bacon, that's it. But I'm coming to the next point, you guys. You know, I like the sweets too. I have a sweet tooth, you know, as you guys know, always I have a lot of stuff around here, but I also like the ice cream. So it's beautiful if you have a freezer, you are in the backcountry and you're craving for an ice cream, or you feel like, oh, it was pretty hot today, let's have an ice cream. Well, you have that possibility, right? So there you guys go. And I'm gonna put a link to every little thing that I have in my unit, and you know what I use for my essentials. And then, you know, you guys can choose yourself, you know, if you need something like that or if you don't, you know. But you know, it's good to have choices so you enjoy your outings as much as possible, you know. So that said, what is the next one? Well, the next one is, if you go in the backcountry, you might want to have a couple of chairs, because you might go to a free campground and they don't have tables, they don't have chairs, you know, they might not even have a fire pit. So is it good to have a couple of chairs with you, you know, and it's also good to have a table. But all these things, if you buying those big massive tables and chairs, take lots of room, and room is very important when you live in a small square footage, right? So that's the reason I carry those little packs, and they are awesome chairs and they are really comfortable, so this is the generator that I carry with me full time. That's where he sits. This is one of the chairs. That's what I'm saying, it's pretty small, you guys, and this is a Costco product. It's a cheap, not expensive chair, but I've been using them for a long time and I'm really satisfied with it, so no complaints there, And then I have my axe and my hiking boots and some other boots and you name it. Comfortable, so when I am out there with the missus, we can sit down and enjoy. And I also have a portable table that I can set it up outside. I can put my cook stove on it, and also has a little compartment where I can put my plates and my paper towels and my other stuff. So those are the essentials I use, and there is a few more, but let's go to work and we get back to this and we talk about it a little bit more. And let's continue. The last important essential that I really want to talk about it is heat. Heat is a major factor, regardless, not really regardless, but if you live in a colder zone, like in Canada, Calgary, Ottawa, Montreal, or even up north, or even in the States, wherever you live, and there is winter, heat is very important, my friends, especially when you hit like minus 10, minus 20, even in 0 degrees, you don't want to come into a cold home where you are kind of freezing and it's miserable outside, raining, and it's cold inside. You want a heat source. So there is many different ways and there is many different heat sources, and I was always telling everyone that was listening that if you have a gas van that running in gasoline, I strongly suggest you to buy a brand name gas heater install, and you'll be happy for years to come. And you'll be happy that you spend that money when you stay nice and toasty, cozy in your beautiful home, and you enjoying van life, or even just enjoying backcountry in the winter, snowshoeing, skiing, snowmobiling, snowboarding, whatever your activities are. The heat is very, very important. Now, if you have a diesel van or truck, or whatever you have, I strongly suggest to get yourself a reliable diesel heater. Now, there is many brands out there, that you can choose from, and one of them is the cheap Chinese one too. Are they good and reliable? Well, so far I never had a bad experience, I had that, it quit on me, but I had the spare one with me and I had the gadgets and I fixed the problem. But mostly, I had really good experience with it. Even in my Nissan, I used that cheap Chinese diesel heater for 5, 6, 7 years, and I only cleaned it once, On the Ambo, on the other hand, I clean it every fall. This way I know it's good to go and doesn't let me down. Last winter was perfect. I never had an issue. It worked like a charm, as it's supposed to. But if you got the money, and you want to purchase something, more like a brand name, well, there is, a few of them out there. They are really good. But I want to touch a little point here, you guys, just so you guys remember this, regardless what brand of heater you have. You live in a cold climate, right? So what they do, they put additives to the diesel, right? They color it, they put some funky additives and all that kind of stuff. And believe it or not, the diesel heaters doesn't like that fuel. And that's an issue. That regardless what you have, it will act out, it will smoke out on you. So what you should do, well, you can't do really much unless you have a separate tank for your diesel. So that's something just to keep in mind, Kerosene, you can carry kerosene with you if you have another tank, and that's clean fuel for the winter time, and you can use that. Even if you are plumbed into the tank, maybe you can just, for the winter time, if you don't want issues, but most of the time, it works. You might have to clean it out, so that's very important. That's all I wanted to touch bases on this essential, my friends. That's all I'm gonna have for you guys in this one. I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate riding along with me. I really thank you in advance for all the comments and all the likes. That helps me a lot. If you are new to the channel and not subscribed, well, consider subscribing. Let's hit that 20,000 subs so we can give that beautiful Bluetti swap power, fridge, freezer and generator. It's a beautiful product and somebody's gonna be really, really happy. But anyway, y'all, I sending you my love. You guys are awesome. You guys are the best. Till next time, peace out.